mentioned in the open, with Harris on the side of Clemson, as you see right there, assuming her position, trying to will her team to its first ACC victory. She likes to score early as well, so it's going to be a really interesting start to this one. And we are underway here from Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. Nick Zannitti, Casey Whitfield, set to bring you this one for the next 90 minutes. Clemson looking for an early attack. It was the ever so tough and gritty Emerson Jennings, the hero against Virginia Tech, finding the back of the net in the 82nd minute. And just a pest on defense, Casey. We were talking about it before today's matchup, just how aggressive she is and how she gets all over the pitch.
I love watching her play because she just has so much fight in her.
Ball thrown in by Maddox. Clemson working in their own end, and the ball goes out. Belongs to Louisville. It's Maddox again for the throw-in. Sent in deep, and it's Emerson Jennings again, just chasing after that ball, trying to make it hard on Clemson. We've talked about the high pressure of Jennings and Sudam so much this season, and they are in their positions ready to make it difficult for Clemson and crew.
When a lot of back lines don't like to play out under pressure. So when you have players that are fast and tenacious like Sudam and Jennings just constantly pestering you and applying pressure, it's exhausting mentally and physically to have to deal with that. So Clemson's really going to have to make sure that they're smart with that the pressure, that they're able to play out of the back cleanly.
Clemson sporting their purple kits, Louisville in the whites. Sudam looking for possession in the midfield. Up by Jolie Jenkins and defended well by Jennings. Jenkins for the throw-in now. One of the very talented freshmen on this team out of Winchester, Virginia. 5'7" defender, part of this magnificent recruiting class that Clemson has put together. Huckabee finds it in the midfield. Gets it over to Gibson, who finds Grace Maddox. Back for Gibson now, and now back to Maddox, who gets it back to the captain in Carson Cherry. And we'll get it back to the trusted Louisville keeper and Erin Floyd, who has recorded so many clean sheets this season. She has been a brick wall between the goalposts, Casey.
She's just been absolutely unreal, and it helps when you have a solid back line in front of you. Just the defensive structure for the Cards so far this season has been really fun to watch.
Yeah, you think of players like Lizzie Sexton and so many others who just make such an immense impact on the defense, making it easier for Erin Floyd. But rest assured, when Erin Floyd needs to make a save, she is elite at covering that ground.
She does so well with staying engaged in the game, just making sure she's constantly communicating with the back line, moving with the play. Because sometimes as a goalkeeper, when you don't get a lot of action, it can get tiresome and you can zone out easily. But you see her there locked in,
Yep,
coaching her team through, and that's what allows her to stay on top of her game throughout the entire match.
Laser focused from the other end of the field, just waiting for some action. Sporting the black kit with the pink lettering. And in net for the Clemson Tigers, it is Adley Holgerson. Louisville at home this season, we talked about they win at Lynn, outscoring opponents 37-2 with 5 straight clean sheets. I mean, those are numbers that speak for themselves.
Absolutely unreal. 37-2. If you're Clemson, you're like, oh, I don't really like that stat too much. And They have a great opportunity here to add to that total on this set piece.
They do. Louisville has been so sound on corners this season, haven't been able to convert one in a couple of matches. Going to look to find one here. Ball is sent in, looking for a header opportunity. An opportunity looked like Maddox who got a piece of it, but Clemson defends it well.
Very nicely dealt with there by Clemson. When you have so many big targets there and talented players in the air like the Cards do, especially with Carson Cherry, Grace Maddox there, who both were the ones going for that ball, you've got to make sure that you're constantly aware of where they are.
Clemson head coach there, Eddie Radwanski, in his 15th season, no stranger to winning. Has put together multiple winning seasons and has accumulated a very talented recruiting class, as we just mentioned. Louisville trying to get it through the midfield. Clemson finds it. They get it up. An opportunity maybe there for Harris, but Louisville shuts it down, and Floyd boots it out to the midfield, but back into the Clemson third. And here comes Clemson with a potential opportunity. Lizzie Sexton trying to shut it down. She does so well. And the wise play to get it away. Lizzie Sexton is so good at killing opportunities. There he is again, Eddie Radwanski. In his 15th season, a record of 152, 90, and 41. Led this program to its one and only College Cup appearance in 2023, where they fell to the national champion Florida State Seminoles. So an excellent season in 2023. He's brought in a great recruiting class, trying to replicate the same season, but this time finish the job.
It's always the goal, is to make sure that you can make it to the playoffs, and he's building the team to be able to do that, especially bringing in top talent like Juju Harris, who's been able to immediately come in and have an impact. It's very difficult to come in as a freshman and be able to not only get a starting spot right off the bat, but to be able to contribute as much as she has.
Yeah, you said it, not only starting, but contributing, leading this team in points, and just making an impact that speaks for itself. And just over 5 minutes into this one, we're going to look to see if she follows suit of the stat we talked about, finding the back of the net before the 10th minute. Looks like Louisville ready for it, shutting it down, and we'll reset now with Snyder. And out of the reach for Lizzie Sexton, it will go out of bounds. And on the Louisville side, a very long-tenured Karen Ferguson Days in her 26th season with the Louisville Cardinals. So impressive how long she has been around this program, and kind of what she turned it into when she took over, and what it's become now is just so impressive, Casey.
She's built such a legacy here at Louisville, and the results that this team is having just speaks for that. They've been able to be so successful this season, and that comes from fighting each year in the ACC.
And with the ACC being so deadly, as we talked about in the Open, it forces this Louisville team to perform and be ready for every opponent that shows up. And every 90 minutes is different, and Louisville has proven that they're ready for that.
The ACC is a conference where there's no weekends off. There's no games off. There's no, oh, well, you know, this team's all right. We should beat them, you know, handedly. There are no games like that. Every single game you are playing almost as if you're in the national championship, because it's that level of play.
Maddox working one-on-one against Anna Kastenfeld, midfielder, sophomore out of Paradise Valley, Arizona. And we saw a couple of moments ago, Clemson keeper Addie Holgerson had Emerson Jennings to deal with as it got a little bit dicey down there for Clemson. So Louisville going to apply that pressure. You mentioned it, Casey. It can create maybe mental mistakes. You rattle the cage of Clemson, and you don't make anything easy on them.
I think that's what you have to do, especially with the style that Louisville likes to play. They're very composed when they're on the ball, but they're in your face the minute that they lose the ball. They're trying to turn it over as quickly as they can. And when you have players like Emerson Jennings, I would even throw Mackenzie Geigley in there. They're just fighters and are not going to back down. It makes it very difficult for the opponent. Clemson's going to have to figure out a way to weather the storm when the Cards are coming at them with all that pressure, and seeing if they can change the point of attack quickly.
It'll be Maddox for a throw-in for the Cardinals. She's looking for Jennings. Sudam there to back her up. Maddox finds it again. Gets it to Geigley, who loses possession, and now picked up by Carla Small. Sent down looking for Juju Harris, but Hadley Snyder wisely gets it back to Floyd. Has Carson Cherry with her, goes to her. Cherry so good at slowing the pace down, reading the defense as she does right there. Doesn't see anything, so she gets it back to Floyd, and it's a really, really good approach from Cherry, just to slow things down, playing a game of pass with her keeper, and just trying to figure out what openings there are.
Well, what a luxury it's been for the Cards to be able to have Carson Cherry in the back there, who is so game smart. You can know the game really well, but it's how you can manage the game that really sets you apart, and that's what sets Carson Cherry apart. Her ability to not only read the game, but know the game and understand when the right decisions are, when we should push the ball going forward, when I should hold the ball, pull it back, maintain possession, and find the openings.
Ball sent down for Jennings. Play gets blown dead.
I love that they're trying to release Emerson Jennings, trying to battle between the two center backs there for Clemson. Just a step off sides there. If she could hold her run for a second longer, she'd be in behind.
And you see there the United Soccer Coaches poll, the top 8, Virginia, Stanford, Duke, Notre Dame, and Florida State representing the ACC. Out of the top 8 here, over half of them are ACC teams. So it just reigns even more true as to what we've been alluding to talking about the ACC.
Like I said, it's like a national championship every time you step on the field.
It was Swinarski trying to find Huckabee there, and now Carson Cherry comes up, a little bit of contact there, and Cherry didn't seem to like it. Getting a little aggressive. Louisville, you mentioned the ball that they tried to send through for Jennings, and then Cherry comes up and gets aggressive. So they're trying to pepper Clemson, it seems, with some pressure and also find opportunities to make it hard on Holgerson in net.
Here we get a look at that foul again. Carson Cherry just gets a little bit too handsy there in the back, and she knew it immediately. She knew it was a foul, no question about it. No argument or anything.
The hands go up a little.
Oh, yeah.
Little indicative
try
of,
to, you know,
I didn't do
clutch
anything.
The innocence.
Right. Jennings tries to chase it down. Clemson gets a clear for the moment. It will stay with Louisville. Just over 10 minutes gone here. Juju Harris did not find the back of the net before the 10th minute, so Louisville did a good job there, kind of surviving the first 10 minutes and trying to find the back of the net here. Sexton for the throw-in. Clemson with good defense.
It's been a bit of a chess match, I would say, in these first few minutes. Just both teams trying to feel each other out. For two teams that like to score early, for neither of them to have a shot speaks volumes to how disciplined both of these teams are defensively.
Juju Harris getting a little physical there, taking exception to the talented Cards team that stands before her and her team, playing in a place where they have not lost yet this season. They know what they're up against. Jolie Jenkins. And now back for Holgerson, who booms it away. Lizzie Sexton chasing for the Cardinals. And gets it back for Erin Floyd, who sends it down herself into the midfield. And out of bounds off of Clemson. It will stay with the Cardinals. This is A.G. Gibson. Geigley knocks it down, takes some contact. Play resumes. Carrying through the midfield was Anna Kastenfeld. And now Louisville with a takeaway. It's A.G. Gibson with a ball sent through. Grace Maddox could be an opportunity for Louisville. Maddox with a ball sent in. And just out of the reach there. Looked like she wanted A.G. Gibson for the header. Just couldn't convert.
I wish she would have gotten that.
Would have been great.
The defensive challenge that Gibson had to win the ball back. What a tackle in the middle of the field. But really, really good stuff here from the Cards. Here's the tackle here as she steps in and wins it just so beautifully. And then to continue her run going forward, releases it out wide. Beautifully done.
Couple of takeaways in the midfield. Clemson had an opportunity brewing, but such an excellent takeaway to give the possession back to Louisville there, and a good ball sent through. A great ball from Maddox, too, just out of the reach of Gibson. You know Louisville's going to think about that right there and try to replicate it best they can as the match progresses.
Well, that just shows what that high pressure can do. When Louisville can turn the ball over in favorable spots on the field, they're going to be able to counter with numbers quickly.
Sudam has it now. Finds Geigley. So effective in one-on-one matchup. She has this elusiveness to her, if you will. It seems like there's a string on her foot connected to the ball, and she just handles it so well. Oh, there it is right there. Oh, and Megan 2 players, and she finds Liza Sudam. Sudam with a ball sent up, looking for Maddox potentially, but now it's back on the foot of Geigley. Looking for Swinarski. The back-to-back Megs there. It's almost as if she heard us talking about her ability one-on-one.
She was like, you wanna see my ability?
Yeah.
Watch this. And here we're gonna get another look at it, as here is Meg number 1. And why not do it a second time right there, Meg number 2, and to even connect the pass on it, just even better.
And Sudam had her sights set on Maddox. Clemson did a good job of shutting it down after Geigley made 2 tremendous moves. Ball sent in deep for Emerson Jennings. This is where she got the goal against Tech. But it's Holgerson, ready and willing, getting up, pushing that one high. And it remains 0-0, but Louisville seems like they're smelling a little blood in the water here, Casey.
Great little through ball there, and Jennings does so well to get around the ball, to get her hips square on goal, and then to make solid contact on it to get it on target and force Holgerson to have to make a save there. Holgerson does well to make herself big there and to be able to push that one away to safety, but a really good attack for the Cards.
Good attack for Louisville. Holgerson answers. Now a corner for the Cards. Clemson denies. Louisville stays with it. They've been so good at those second chance opportunities. Ball sent in. Just misses. But Louisville does a great job on corners of, if they can't convert immediately, they're always ready for those rebounds that bounce around in the 6 yard. So look for Louisville to keep creating those corners and maybe converting on those second chances.
Well, and sometimes those second chances are even more dangerous than the set piece themselves, because what happens is on the initial set piece, you train for that, you practice for that, you know exactly where you need to be, who you're marking, but the minute that the ball goes out, it's every man for themselves, and you've got to figure out, who do I mark? Are we stepping? Are we holding? And that's where things can get disjointed, and that's why you see a lot of goals come from those second chance opportunities.
Harris was going to work. Who other than Emerson Jennings shutting down the attack for Clemson? She has just been so sound defensively, almost scoring a goal here early. Remains 0-0. Looking for Jennings again was Cherry. Bit of an aggressive pass. Here comes Clemson. An opportunity, perhaps, but a pass that a little too much on it. Lizzie Sexton gathers in the corner. Will go out of bounds and stays with the Tigers.
I wish that Lyles there, instead of trying to play that ball out wide, maybe faked the pass and continued with the dribble there, dribbling at the back line, forcing the back line to have to decide, do we step or do we continue to drop off? That indecisiveness can lead to a stronger attack.
Jenkins was trying to advance the possession. Maddox got it away. And Jenkins for the throw-in. Sudam comes up with it. Louisville working in their defensive third. Huckabee now. Louisville working through the midfield, up along the side. Ball sent in. Jennings is there. Sudam as well, and Geigley. Holgerson comes out to get it wisely for Clemson. Not afraid to come out deep and try to eliminate any opportunities that Louisville is developing.
That's exactly what you want from a goalkeeper. Like we said for Aaron Floyd, just somebody that stays engaged. And when you can come out and collect that, you allow your team to kind of take a breath too, to relieve some of that stress, some of that pressure.
Yeah, and we saw that from Aaron Floyd playing a game of pass with Carson Cherry when nothing seemed to present itself. Well, there's no reason to rush. We got time to let things breathe a little bit and just see what happens. Ball sent up now for Sudam. She has Geigley on her right. Elects to go to her. Geigley so dangerous in these situations. A ball sent in, high arcing ball. Headed away by Reese Klein. Swinarski going to work. 2 defenders on her hip. Gets it away. Another ball sent in. Holgerson might have a save to make. Clemson gets it away. Jennings. A.G. Gibson hits the brakes, creates some space, gets it into Sudam. Louisville looking for an opportunity. Geigley has to retreat. Defended by Emily. Sudam. Sudam with an excellent move. A.G. Gibson trying to create something. Swinarski with a shot on net, and it's in the back of the net. Gets past Addie Holgerson in Louisville. 20 minutes into the match, finds the 1-0 lead.
That is just some beautiful play there from the Cards, the patient here. But this first touch from Amelia Swinarski to set up this shot, absolutely wonderful. And then to slot that back post, it's a great goal. It's a great team goal. The patience that they had waiting for the right moment, and Swinarski puts it away.
We were talking about Swinarski maybe finding another assist. I'm sure she'll live with the first goal of the match.
You know, I think it'll do, right?
I think it will,
you
yeah.
know,
I think it'll fare. Excellent stuff from Louisville. A team goal, as you mentioned, and for Swinarski to put a boot on that ball as she's falling, assisted by A.G. Gibson and Liza Sudam. Just elite to keep your balance, put a boot to the ball, and just getting it by the keeper in that situation. I mean, it's just characteristic of this Louisville team.
It's just that willingness to do whatever it takes to put the ball in the back of the net, and that's exactly what we saw there from Swinarski. But I just love the passing build-up, the give and go, the movement off the ball from the Cards that helped force the Clemson back line to be shifting in ways that they didn't want to, and that led to that channel for Swinarski to find the opening.
Ball sent into the box. Aaron Floyd had some trouble on her hands, but erases that opportunity.
Talked about how Clemson is a team that is not going to back down. This is a wonderful service in the box. Just kind of some miscommunication on the back post there about who's going for it, who's going to get it. I think if the communication was better, they might have been able to get a better look on target. But Clemson is a team, they're not going to back down in this match. So Louisville's going to have to make sure that they keep their foot on the gas as well.
It looked like Castenfeld and Lyles from Clemson both looking for a header off of that ball that was gorgeous, sent into the box. As you said, Casey, it was a perfectly placed pass, but Clemson unable to convert. You know they're going to want to try to recreate that one. And on the goal by Amelia Swinarski, it was Emily Bruff and crew trying to keep Louisville out of the back of the net, but Swinarski had other plans. Maddox now for the throw-in. And it creates another corner for Louisville.
Those long throws from Grace Maddox are such a threat because it sets up just like another set piece. It's a free service into the box on a throw-in like that. So what a luxury to have Grace Maddox in the long throw.
Just over 20 minutes gone by here in this one. Louisville on its third corner. We talked about Louisville, the need to create corner opportunities. We'll see if they can find a second one here. Ball sent in a little bit deep. Louisville unable to convert. Second chance opportunity. Clemson keeps it away. Reese Klein gets it out. But Louisville doing a really good job, like we talked about, creating corners because they find so much success there. If they keep getting them, you know they'll eventually find one. Betsy Huckabee looking for Liza Sudam. Hard play on the ball from Geigley, and here come the Cardinals. Geigley attacking. Knocked down. Stays with it. Gets it all the way over for Sexton. Back through to the goal scorer and Amelia Swinarski. Great play there by A.G. Gibson to keep the ball in and keep possession for her team. Carson Cherry has it now.
A.G. Gibson and Betsy Huckabee do so much off the ball that contributes to their success offensively. Just the movements that they have, keeping the ball alive like we saw A.G. Gibson do there. It's just such a pivotal role, and those two do it effortlessly.
Mackenzie Geigley dribbling through 3 Clemson defenders. How impressive is she? Fearless. Holgerson settling things down, facilitating her team. Scanning, taking her time, taking a deep breath, ready to send it away. A booming kick that ends up on the Louisville third. Little contact there in the midfield. Here comes Emerson Jennings. Might be thinking goal, trying to create some space. Clemson flocks to her. Mackenzie Geigley all alone in the corner, but that pass out of reach, and it will go back to Clemson.
Right idea, just put a little bit too much on it there. But I love how she cuts it back. She recognizes she doesn't have the play there. So instead of trying to force it, she simply pulls it back and tries to connect with her teammates.
Jennings will come off. On for her, number 7, Nicole Jadoin for Louisville. Natalie Brooks in the match now for Carla Small. Here comes Clemson, getting some fresh legs. It's picked up by Jolie Jenkins, who gets it back now for Natalie Brooks, fresh into the match. Ball sent in, nobody home for Clemson. Christian Brothwaite, in the match now for Clemson, the junior midfielder out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Enters the match for Anna Kastenfeld, who was one of 2 Clemson players who had a magnificent opportunity to equalize just after Amelia Swinarski got one past Holgerson.
If you're Clemson, you've got to figure out a way to value the ball and the possession a little bit more. Right now, they've had to do a lot of defending, and when they do turn the ball over, they haven't been able to connect with those passes. A little bit more movement in the middle of the field, connecting through the middle of the field, seeing if they can change the point of attack and force the back line of the Cards to have to shift back and forth. That's what's going to allow them to be able to find those breakthrough moments.
Brief giveaway there from Louisville. Some more subs now. Mackenzie Geigley comes off. On for her, Taylor Morris, number 86 for the Cards. Clemson now with a throw in. It'll be Jenkins. Rothwhite working with it. Gets it back to her back line. And now Clemson assuming another attack. Ball sent in deep. Louisville there to get it away. Taylor Morris, foot race to the ball, stays with it. Jenkins, some physicality there. And the physical battle, such an important one. Louisville's going to have to hang in there with the physicality. Clemson's going to bring it now that they're down 1-0. They're going to try to find their way back. And there's so many battles in this game. The mental battle, the battle of skill, teamwork. But you cannot overlook being physical and throwing a body at somebody if you need to.
Well, and you just have to be strong on the ball and be willing to go into those challenges and understanding, you know, that it is a fight out there and it's a physical game. That's just the way it is. And so you've got to be willing to go in strong to challenges. If you back down at all, the other player is not going to. And so you're going to maybe end up getting hurt or losing possession.
And they're going to take exception, notice that, recognize it, and they're going to run with it. You can't give anything. If you give an inch, the other team will take a mile. So both these teams taking exception to the physicality, getting set here in this first half. Jenkins. And the play is whistled dead. It did go out of bounds, so Louisville will take over.
A few too many unforced errors there for Clemson. There's been a few too many times where they've just kind of not been able to get the touch on the ball. It's rolled over the sideline. They're going to have to figure out ways to clean that up, clean up their first touch in order to be able to break down the Cards. Because, again, the Cards have been rock solid at home and just in general so far this season.
Ball sent in by Brooklyn Lee, who is on now for the Cardinals. Sophomore defender out of Tacoma, Washington. Has been making the most of her opportunities. An assist this season. Jenkins. An attempted give and go. Morris intercepts for Louisville, and wisely gets it back for Snyder, who wisely then gets it back to Aaron Floyd, and Louisville trying to create quality possession. Huckabee heads it. Sudam heads it. Jadoin applying pressure, trying to make it difficult for Clemson to break out. They do now. Louisville defense ready for it, and they get it back to Floyd to slow things down once again.
One thing that I think the Cards are doing really, really well that I think Clemson needs to do a little bit better with is the distance between their lines. So the Cards are keeping the game very compact defensively and then trying to spread things out defensively. Clemson is getting really spread apart, which is forcing their lines to be disjointed. And I mean, between their back line, their middle line, and their front line, there is just too much space, which is allowing the Cards to be able to step in and easily win the ball and win back possession. If Clemson can connect their lines better, they're going to be able to keep possession and build out of the back a little bit easier.
Some more subs now for Clemson. Off is Juju Harris. Following behind her is Tatum Short. In the match now for Louisville, Karina Pete, number 10, as you see there. And coming off for the Cardinals, number 4, Liza Sudam. Alessandra Washington in for Juju Harris on the side of Clemson. Taylor Lieb in the match now for Tatum Short. It'll be Jenkins for the throw-in for the Tigers. Huckabee with a little too much on it. It goes out of bounds. Clemson stays. Renee Lyles for the throw-in, finds Jenkins, gets it back to her. Pass intercepted once again by Louisville. Morris leaves it out in the open. After it is Jadoin. Good job by her to go get that ball. It looked like it was roaming in free space. Clemson could have turned it into an opportunity. So just over 30 minutes gone by here in the first half. Play is blown dead. Louisville leads at 1-0. Casey, what have you seen from Clemson in the response to Louisville finding the back of the net here in this one?
You can tell that they're trying to get more numbers going forward, but again, like I said earlier, right now it's just too much space between their lines. They've got their front players that are standing on the back line of the Cards, and then they have their midfield 3 and then their back 3. Instead of having this more fluid movement in their shape, it's forcing them to have to play very linear and not allowing them to have that creative movement that they need in order to break down the back line.
Ball sent into the box, an opportunity for Clemson. Louisville there to shut it down. Clemson stays with it, though. Trying to find an opportunity to equalize. Good ball movement from Clemson. Ball sent down into the corner. Will roll out of bounds. Aaron Floyd will send it away. And coming into the match now for the Cardinals, it's Kylie Pete, twin sister of Corinna Pete, and off is Betsy Huckabee. So now the Pete sisters both on the pitch for Louisville.
That's so fun, getting to play
Isn't
with
it?
your sister. That's something I never got to do, so I'm pretty jealous of them.
Right. And then you have the Morris sisters, Taylor
Right.
and Trista. So multiple family affairs going on this Louisville team. The chemistry there has to just be a different level.
Right.
You can assume.
To understand where they're making their runs, how they like to play, it definitely gives them a leg up.
Jadoin defending, trying to press high. Louisville has found success this season in doing so, but it's Clemson now trying to find an attack up along the side. Potential opportunity brewing here for the Tigers. Snyder defending, ball sent into the box. Cherry there to keep it away. Ball is popped up into the air. Brooklyn Lee wisely lets it roll to Aaron Floyd. That's such a weird area right there where there's Clemson players around. The ball is kind of rolling around on the ground, but she just trusts her keeper and Floyd to come and kill that play.
Well, and that's where you need confidence in the keeper to come out and make that play. But I love that build-up from Clemson there. That's much better there down the right side, having the combination play to break down the Cards, creating those triangles on the field, meaning that you always have an option for a short pass, and that allowed them to break down the Cards and get that cross into the box. So really good stuff from Clemson there.
Jadoin and Bruff both hitting the deck. Officials letting it play on. Brooklyn Lee now to get things started for Louisville. Gets it back to Floyd. Just over 10 minutes to play here in the first half. Nixonity, Casey Whitfield here as the sun is setting in Louisville, Kentucky at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. Snyder sends it deep into the attacking third for Louisville. Corinna Pete is there, can't get to it. Clemson takes over. Cherry. Lizzie Sexton now going to work. A ball sent up for Taylor Morris, a potential lane. Unable to gather it, and Morris tries to chase it down, but unable to do so.
Good hustle there from Morris to try to connect on the end of the ball there. I love how the Cards are looking to change the point of attack and really utilizing those wing players because they have found a lot of success down this right side for them.
Emily Bruff comes off for Clemson. In the match for her now is Danny Davis. So Coach Brad Wansky going to his bench, calling on Danny Davis, a junior midfielder out of Port Washington, New York. Louisville doing a good job on defense so far, shutting down any opportunity Clemson can find. They've been looking like they're finding more opportunities, but Louisville's been there every time. Clemson playing through their back line. They find Jenkins. Rothwhite. Jenkins will throw it in. Lee there. Takes care of the throw-in. It was Morris. Now Jadoin. Good move there by Pete. Kylie Pete to get away. Lizzie Sexton hits the brakes and goes back for Hadley Snyder. Gets it up to Kylie Pete and back for Snyder. Louisville doing a good job again of slowing things down. Less than 10 minutes to play here in the half. You know they would like to go into the locker room up 2-0 instead of 1-0, despite what they say about the 2-0 lead in soccer.
I know, the curse of the 2-0 lead, but you'd rather have 2 goals than 1 goal.
You would.
You know what
you
I'm
would,
saying?
Right? I mean, it's hard to say that you'd rather be up 1-0. You'd obviously rather be up 2-0, but as they say, the 2-0 lead's so dangerous. Louisville not scared of anything, so they will try to find that 2-0 lead. And Clemson, with 8.5 to play, going to try to find that equalizer. They get it back to Holgerson. Corinna Pete pressuring high, as is Nicole Jadoin, and now making it a little bit difficult for Clemson to set something up. So with just over 8 minutes left, Casey, what does Clemson need to do? What can they continue to do, or what should they change in order to take an equalizing goal into the locker room?
They need to figure out how to control the pace of this game. Because right now, the Cards are in full control of how this game is being played. When they have the ball, they are slowing it down when they want, speeding it up and going forward when they want. They have their foot on the gas pedal, and they are the ones driving the car right now. Clemson is being put under a lot of pressure on the Cards, so they're having to play at speeds that they maybe don't want to. So they have to figure out a way, how can they take control of the game? How can they control the pace so then they can begin to play their style and try to build in this match?
Morris heads it. Holgerson dives on it. Playing it safe, not letting Louisville get any attack going. And you mentioned it, Louisville driving this match so far. Clemson kind of responding to the things that Louisville is doing. They're going to have to find a way to drive the car themselves and create opportunities on their own accord.
Well, to do it consistently, too.
Right.
I feel like they've had moments where they have been able to be in charge, and that's when they've had those bright spots at getting forward. So how can they consistently control the pace of the game and try to knock Louisville off of their game?
Yeah, they have had opportunities, and we saw that earlier. It was the miscommunication with multiple players in the box, and both went up for a header, unable to convert it. Another ball was sent into the box, but Louisville was there to answer the bell. So for Clemson, going to have to find a way to string together those opportunities. It's good to scrape the surface of opportunity, but you want to really put the pressure on Louisville, make them make the good plays. Maybe doing so here. Here comes Clemson. An opportunity, a shot blocked in front of the net. Multiple defenders, they get it away. It was Natalie Brooks for Clemson with an opportunity to equalize.
Much better from Renee Lyles there in the middle of the field, picking the ball up. I criticized her earlier because I thought she played it too soon, but here she does well, dribbling with pace and finds the right pass out wide to find Natalie Brooks. Brooks gets a good shot off, but a nice deflection, a good defensive effort from Brooklyn Lee, but an excellent opportunity here for Clemson to get that equalizer, to get that goal right before halftime. The first 5 and the last 5 are 2 of the most dangerous times in a half, and we are right outside of the last 5 minutes. So this would be a golden opportunity for Clemson.
First corner of the night for Clemson. We'll see what they can do. Ball sent in by Jenkins. A header opportunity. Floyd doesn't have to get that one. It sails a little bit high and into the netting. But a good opportunity there from Clemson. Fina Davey in the match now for Louisville. Emma Kate Schroll also in the match now. Davey comes on for Swinarski, who is the sole goal of this match so far. Emma Kate Schroll into the match now for A.G. Gibson. You mentioned the last 5 minutes of each half being so crucial. Telling of why Karen Ferguson-Days has gone to her bench, trying to get the freshest legs she can out there so that Louisville could maybe take a 2-0 lead into the half.
Well, it's such a benefit to be able to cycle players in and out of the match the way that you can in college sports to make sure that you're constantly keeping players fresh, you're reducing injuries, and that keeps the game at a really high level for the full 90 minutes.
And a luxury it is for this Louisville squad, having the depth that they have. Ferguson-Days has talked about it so much. There's no better motivator than depth, right? If you don't feel the next person behind you challenging you in practice, trying to find a spot on the pitch, then you got to work a little bit harder. No one spot is safe, and Ferguson-Days is not afraid to sub people in.
Well, especially when you're in such a tough conference where you are playing very difficult matches and putting a huge load on the players in each of those games. If you can cycle through, keep players fresh, limit the amount of minutes that they're having to put in, but never dropping your level when you make changes on the pitch, that is what sets up championship teams.
The quality of play never drops when Ferguson-Days goes to her bench. All of her players understand the standard, they understand the philosophy, and they understand the grit that it takes to play on this team.
And I think that's something Clemson is building as well with their team, bringing in such a strong class this year of freshmen to be able to continue to grow those players, build that depth out so that way you can make sure that you're constantly competing year in, year out for the ACC tournament spot, even not even like for the championship, just for a spot in the ACC tournament. That's exactly what you're constantly looking to do, and bringing in players that have experience, that can have immediate impacts. It's so wonderful.
And we said it earlier, Clemson finished the 2024-25 recruiting cycle with the number 2 ranked recruiting class via Top Drawer Soccer. Scoring summary so far, Amelia Swinarski found her 7th goal of the season 20 minutes into the match. It is still the only goal up on the scoreboard as we approach the final 2.5 minutes of the first half. Ball out of reach there for Louisville, and now Clemson takes over. Brothwaite in the midfield, going to work for the Tigers against Emma Kate Schroll for Louisville. Ball sent in, Floyd there. Floyd picks it up, taking her time, letting a couple of seconds shave off the clock here. Just over 2 minutes to play. Floyd sends it away. Opportunity here now for Fina Davey. Clemson taking exception. The defense there, some physicality in the corner.
Cards trying to argue for a foul there, but just a good physical battle. I feel the referee has done a very nice job of managing this game, allowing the players to play, but making sure that it's not getting out of hand.
You saw the reaction there from Davy. Wanted the call, as you mentioned here, Casey.
And it's just going up against two defenders. She's pushing a little bit, they're pushing a little bit. They just get tangled up there. I don't think there's much of a foul there. I think it's just both players trying to battle for the ball. So I think it's the right call there from the officials.
Yeah, Jenkins making a play on the ball, getting a little grabby there, but just soccer at the end of the day. Now here comes Pete with Davy. Davy looking for an opportunity. Little bump there from Clemson defender. Less than a minute to play here in the first half. Good defensive play there from Reese Klein. Another freshman on this Clemson squad who contributes so much to that #2 recruiting class out of Cooper City, Florida.
What an opportunity here, though, for the Cards with just seconds left here in the first half to potentially get that second goal and to get that just nail in the coffin on the first half.
Be Emma Kate Schroll now for the corner. .20 seconds to play. Last chance for Louisville here in the first half. Can they find the second goal? A header opportunity. Ball bouncing around. Clemson gets it out. Ball stays in. Louisville could make something happen here. Fina Davy, a chip shot. Arcing high and over the top of the net. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and 1. That's going to do it for the first half here from Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. Amelia, every possession, not that it doesn't mean just as much here in these matches leading up to that, but I mean in the College Cup, it's a moment of its own.
It means something different because one mistake, one goal, one error that you make could be the end of your season, and for seniors or upperclassmen, it could be the end of their college career. And so while every game is important and every game matters because you have to win those games in order to have those big moments, nothing compares to playing in the College Cup where your season and maybe your playing career potentially are on the line.
Excited to keep this season going. As you saw the key dates there before we started this second half. Make sure you tune in. You don't want to miss it. We are underway here in the second half at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. Nixon Iddy, Casey Whitfield, excited to bring you this next 45 minutes. We'll see if Clemson can equalize or if Louisville can extend their lead to 2-0. New keeper in net for the Clemson Tigers is Nona Reason, redshirt junior goalkeeper, 5'10" out of Noblesville, Indiana. Coming off a season-ending injury from the 2024 season, she is now healthy, ready to stop any opportunity Louisville looks to create. Clemson now getting aggressive to start the half.
Love that ball into the box there by Reese Klein, trying to connect with her teammates inside the 18-yard box. Clemson is coming out with a different energy, which is exactly what they needed to do. I said it at halftime. They've got to figure out a way to take control of this game, and coming out strong in the second half is the perfect way to do that.
Minute and a half gone here in the second half. Louisville leads at 1-0. Amelia Swinarski, the goal scorer for the Cards. Going to try to find maybe Swinarski again, maybe set something up for somebody else. Who knows? We'll find out here as the second half unfolds. A beautiful evening for soccer under the lights here in Louisville. Reason. Playing a game of pass with her back line. Similar to what we saw for Louisville in the first half, trying to slow things down, trying to create opportunities. Well, not create opportunities, but just scan the defense and see what they give them. And now Louisville applying that high pressure. A.G. Gibson doing a great job to keep it in. Clemson going to have to find a way to slow this one down. Ball sent in, but it did go out of bounds, so play does stop. looked like it got over the line, and it sure did.
Well, and this speaks to the defensive shape for the Cards. So because Emerson Jennings is applying that pressure, A.G. Gibson recognizes that and then decides to step forward. So when the defender tries to play it out with the pressure that Jennings is bringing, Gibson is able to step in and win that one. It's really good play, and it's really good of reading your teammate and understanding she's stepping, so I have to go.
Really good awareness there, and as you mentioned, one player moves, another moves, and they're just kind of picking up what their teammates are creating. We talked about the team goal they set up on offense, but now Louisville playing team defense, and they're finding a really, really good method to rattle the cage of this Clemson team, and it's applying that high pressure. They get it back to Reason. It was Bailey Brewster who got it back to the new keeper in Reason. Ball sent up for Clemson, looking for an attack. Maddox right there, playing strong defense. A.G. Gibson, the good pass up for Sudam. And a foot race to the ball. Sudam blocks it. The speedster Emerson Jennings with a potential breakaway. Clemson defense catches up. Louisville catches up themselves. Swinarski gets it back for Snyder. Snyder up for Gibson.
You can't hesitate in the back when you have a player like Emerson Jennings looming there.
Well, she was running.
She was ready.
Shot on net. Reason has to go up and get it. And a good play by the keeper for Clemson.
Love this look on target here, but here we're going to get a look at the speed from Jennings, just throwing on the jets to be able to get to that ball, keep possession, and because of her winning the ball there, that's what led to this attack for the Cards and ultimately a corner kick.
And it was good defense by Reese Klein from Clemson, who had to get back and shut down Emerson Jennings, who, like we said, once she gets going, good luck. If you're seeing that 27 on the back of her jersey, you're going to have to really hightail it to catch up to her. Here comes a corner for Louisville. Opportunity into the box. Clemson able to keep it away. Retreating now is Sexton, and Louisville defense has to hurry back as Clemson making run in transition. Here come the Tigers looking for that equalizer. Carrying is Brooks. Potential ball sent through, unable to get one off. It was the good defense of Lizzie Sexton. We talked about her soundness on defense, her commitment to being fearless, and she shuts down that opportunity for Clemson, who have come out looking much more aggressive, Casey.
They have. That's a wonderful run there from Natalie Brooks, just taking the ball and attacking with speed. She had some support up there, but the Cards did such a good job of dropping back defensively that it really eliminated any of the passes that she had going forward. So Brooks forced to have to keep the ball and continue on, but a good attack there from Clemson. Wonderful recovery from the Cards.
You saw Coach Radwanski looking on for Clemson, trying to come up with something, trying to slow down this Louisville offense, but also trying to find holes in the defense. You see him communicating to his team. Brathwaite carrying now for the Tigers, dribbling through defenders, takes some contact, and play gets blown dead. See Brathwaite there. And we mentioned it at the start of the half, the new keeper in net for the Clemson Tigers. It's Nona Reason, 5'10" junior out of Noblesville, Indiana. She is going to try to hold up her end of the bargain as Addie Holgerson did a really excellent job in net tonight, Casey. Despite the fact it's 1-0 Louisville, she had a lot of shots to save, a lot of opportunities to get rid of. Maybe it wasn't a lot of shots, but Louisville was creating, and Holgerson did a good job of keeping them quiet despite the one goal.
Want a lot of organizing in the back to make sure that they eliminate those attacks.
Faking a shot for Clemson off of the boot of Klein. A screamer that got blocked by the Louisville defense. Crowd is enjoying it here at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium, as is the bench.
The wall did its job, and that's exactly why you set that up, to see if you can block the shots. Klein makes great contact with the ball. Love throwing the L's up. All the fans here enjoying some wonderful soccer. Like you said, it's a beautiful night.
It's gorgeous.
Perfect evening.
It's great. Friday night, fans are having a good time, trying to watch their Cards protect their home pitch. Not if the Tigers have something to say about it. And almost 10 minutes into this half, it looks like they're going to have something to say. But Louisville going to have to answer. They get it back for Floyd. Has Hadley Snyder to her left. Decides to send it up into the midfield. And it will roll out of bounds. Clemson will get it started. Throw in for Klein. And Reason. Up along the side now for Clemson. Sudam there to play defense for Louisville. And Clemson gets it back to Reason. Gets it over to Bailey Brewster.
Love the patience of Clemson right now, just willing to work it across the back, not trying to force anything going forward, trying to get their midfielders more involved and forcing the Cards' defensive shape to have to shift laterally.
And credit to Clemson, because when you're down 1-0, it can maybe be easy to try to force stuff. Hey, we got to equalize this match. We got to find something. We got to make something happen. But Clemson doing a good job of recognizing that they do have time, 36 minutes still to play here in this half. They can create a quality chance.
Well, that's also a good sign of a great coach, just helping his team understand you don't have to force it. There is still time in the game. We don't have to, just kick it long and hope for the best. Like, we can still play our style of soccer. We can still grow back into this game. There's plenty of time, and this Clemson team has proved time and time again that they can fight back into games. They can come back from being down.
You want to give your squad a chance to see how the adjustments that you talked about in the locker room play out. You don't want to force stuff. You want to see how your plans that you drew up can fare. Louisville adjusted as well. 10 minutes into this half, you see Clemson being more aggressive, and Louisville's going to have to find a way to match that aggression up 1-0. Some contact there. Geigley goes down for Louisville.
One thing you're going to see is the Cards slowing down these restarts, especially as Clemson is growing into the game and getting more and more confident in the match. The Cards are going to utilize things like restarts, set pieces, anytime the ball is stopped and the clock is still running, to try and slow the game down, get the momentum back into their favor, and see if they can disrupt Clemson.
Huckabee and Geigley making it difficult for Clemson. Clemson with a takeaway now, getting into transition. Couple of Cards back on defense. Cherry back on defense. Ball sent through. An opportunity maybe for Clemson. Hadley Snyder's there, but the ball rolls out of bounds. And Clemson making that run. Seems like they have a couple of balls that are just rolling a little too far, maybe a little too much on these through balls, but Louisville's back line going to have to find a way to limit through balls, limit opportunities. But so far, when Clemson has gotten deep and maybe looked like they're going to have an opportunity, Louisville's erased it.
Yeah, Clemson has been trying to build the momentum offensively in this match and trying to see if they can find the breakthrough moment. They've just been slightly off on their touches, on their passes, and that's what's hurt them, just these little errors that have been adding up to lead to bigger mistakes.
And some hard contact there. You'll see it right here between Emerson Jennings and Reese Klein as Klein went up. And a bit of a spill there from Reese Klein and Jennings. Just kind of characteristic of the way that she plays the game.
She's coming in hard and she's coming in fast, and that's exactly what she did there.
You better be ready for it. Clemson with an opportunity, Louisville able to erase it. Sudam finds Maddox. Maddox finds Cherry. And Cherry wisely once again sees nothing. Goes back to Floyd. Floyd looking for Sexton. Tatum short now working with it for Clemson. Gets it back to Klein. Klein working against Swinarski. Responsible for the lone goal here in this one. Snyder wisely lets it roll out of bounds.
I like that Clemson's trying to increase their pressure when the back line of the Cards is on the ball. That's allowing them to see the ball in better spots of the field. As they're pushing higher up the field, their lines are closer together, so they're able to force Cards into errors in their defensive half, which is leading to better turnovers and better attacking opportunities.
Snyder gets it away. A.G. Gibson now finds Sexton. Sexton loses the handle and getting some words there from her assistant coach. Throw in for Clemson now. Looking for Anna Kastenfeld. Betsy Huckabee now for Louisville. Gets it back to Hadley Snyder. Cherry makes run, gets past one. Drops it off for Betsy Huckabee. And just a simple mistake there for Louisville, right through the midfield, and a pass that's just dumped off, and Huckabee is forced to slide out of bounds and send it upfield, but they give the ball back to Clemson. And there's Emerson Jennings doing what she does best. Sudam there as well. Geigley. Clemson looking to break out. Good defense there from Liza Sudam.
The Cards still continuing the pressure when they can. Clemson's moved the ball a lot faster, which has made the pressure coming from the Cards a lot more difficult.
Play is blown dead. So Louisville gave it back to Clemson. Clemson now gives it back to Louisville. And I think this is where, if you're Louisville, just about 15 minutes into this half, you want to start to put together some possession time. You want to start putting together a couple of balls sent into the box. We'll see if Maddox can make something happen here. You mentioned how good she is at the throw-ins. It's almost like its own set piece. So we'll see if Maddox can find something here. Ball is thrown in. Clemson gets it away. Huckabee there. Clemson doing a good job again, clearing it, not giving Louisville any opportunity. Cherry retreats, chases it down. Floyd has Sexton, elects to go back to her captain and Cherry, who finds Huckabee.
And I think the Cards, too, they need to see more of the ball, and they've got to figure out a way to not allow Clemson back in this game.
You can tell the way this second half is unfolding. Clemson is throwing everything they got at Louisville, and Louisville, while they've responded well, you mentioned it, finding the holes in the Louisville defense is Clemson, and you got to think if they keep applying this pressure, something's got to give.
And Clemson is a team that you don't want to let kind of lurk in the background. They're a team that is going to come back. They're a team that's not going to give up. They're going to fight until that full 90 minutes. So if you allow them to stay in the game, and if you allow them to continue to brew and build confidence in the match, you're going to pay for it later on. So the Cards have got to figure out a way to not allow that to happen, to get control back of the game, to see if they can get that second goal and really make it difficult for Clemson.
And you see right there the draws this season, 5 of them. Chasing it down is Emerson Jennings, but you see the draws there from Clemson. They fight so hard all 90 minutes, every single match. And you're right, Casey, they are going to try to come back on you. Ball sent into the box looking for Sudam. Clemson gets it away. Jennings there to retreat. In the corner now. That one gets knocked down. Rides up close to the hand area, but play resumes. But Clemson, 3-1-5. 5 draws. You just saw the graphic on screen. 0-2 so far in ACC play. You could argue there's no team more determined to find their first conference win. A lot at stake here for both teams tonight because Louisville's trying to defend their perfect record at home, but Clemson needs that first ACC win.
Yeah, they're trying everything that they can to try to figure out how to get that moment that they've been building towards. And ties are exhausting, and everybody is you obviously are playing for the win, but when you tie and tie and tie and tie and tie, it's very exhausting mentally as a player. And so to be able to find the breakthrough moment, is you have a couple players down here for Clemson, Reese Klein, and then Emerson Jennings taking a second as well. And that's what the stoppage of play is here. But you're constantly trying to find that moment. And for Clemson, you feel like once they get that first win in ACC play, that's going to skyrocket this team, because this team has done everything. They've been fighting. They've been battling in tough matches to stay in games. They need to find that moment that's going to skyrocket the season to the next level.
So here's a look at what happened. Jennings from Louisville looking for a cross into the box, and Klein got a piece of it. Came off the pitch to recover.
She's got a little bit of tape there on her wrist, as it was a hard shot to the hand. I know you guys would say, well, that was a handball, that was a handball. It wasn't a handball. It was ball to hand. She was trying to move out of the way, and she was not making a movement towards the ball to hit it with their hand. So that is why it was not a handball. But that does not feel good regardless.
Right. So Klein comes off, and into the match now, Ellie Bissinger, freshman defender, another freshman called on for this Clemson squad. They have a very talented freshman class. Bissinger out of Greenville, South Carolina, has a goal and 2 assists this season for 4 points. Going to try and find one for her squad to equalize here with just over 15 minutes gone. See Kylie Pete there in the match now for Louisville. And off comes Emerson Jennings. A well-earned break. Nicole Jadoin back on the pitch now. Kylie Pete in the match now for Betsy Huckabee. And on the side of Clemson, Neely Carr in the match now for Mackenzie Duff. Maddox will throw it in for Louisville. Looking for Jadoin. There's Jolie Jenkins there, preventing Jadoin from finding possession. Grace Maddox for another throw-in. Shots tonight, 5-3 in favor of Louisville. 3 shots on goal for Louisville. Clemson yet to find a shot on goal, but Louisville committing 7 fouls to Clemson's 3. A little aggressive there from Louisville. But corners favor Louisville 5-1, and we said that Louisville was going to have to find more corner opportunities, and they'll look to find more here in the final 27 minutes.
Much better stuff there from Clemson. In the first half, they would have tried to continue to force that going forward, but they recognized that they didn't have the numbers, pulled it back, and kept possession. It was a very smart play.
Wisely backing up, resetting. We talked about not forcing it. Time is ticking for Clemson. 26 minutes, 26 and a half minutes still. So lots of time. At what point, though, Casey, do you think Clemson really kicks it into high gear and starts emptying their bag for Louisville?
I'd say around the 15 minutes left. I would say you want to give it plenty of time to try to play out your game plan, but then you also want to leave enough time on the clock to really push it and see if you can overload the offense by bringing in maybe a few more offensive firepowers. Juju is on the bench. Juju Harris is on the bench. She has not come in the second half at all, so maybe trying to rest her to see if she can come out and have these final 15 minutes where you tell her, I want you to run everywhere. You're pressuring every ball. You're doing whatever you can. But if you do it too soon, you risk exhausting your players, and you also risk opening yourself up to some attacks, especially with the solid Louisville team. But you have to still also make sure you give your players enough time to be successful out there.
We definitely have not seen the last of Juju Harris. She is going to come back into this match at some point, and she is going to do everything in her power to find the equalizer. Louisville, though, looking for the 2-0 lead. Good takeaway there by the Clemson defense, as Louisville had an opportunity on their hands, but it was diminished as quick as it came. Snyder. Cherry. Ball sent through. Good defensive play there by Jenkins, getting a foot on it. blocking that lane, and now Sudam finds Cherry. Cherry finds Swinarski. 1 to her name already. We'll see if she can find 2. She drops it off for Sexton, who gets it back to Swinarski. Swinarski makes a turn. Into the corner she goes. Has Sexton right behind her. Unable to keep possession as Clemson sent 2 defenders. Tatum Short was there playing defense for Clemson, as was Ellie Bissinger. Some fresh legs now for Clemson. Danny Davis in for Emily Bruff. And Alessandra Washington is back now. Renee Lyles will get a rest. Taylor Leib in the match now. Tatum Short comes out. So Coach Eddie Radwanski going to his bench. Still hasn't gone to Juju Harris. But as we said, we're going to see her again soon, and she'll be ready.
And a lot of times you'll see coaches make changes around this mark to pull their players, give them about a 10-minute break, and then put them on for the last 10 minutes to get that final big push to go forward. So both teams kind of gearing up for that as Radwanski's bringing the subs out, letting them rest, and then you can imagine about 10 minutes or so he's going to bring those players back on to see if they can get some fresh legs.
Opportunity here for Clemson in front of the box. Good defense there by Hadley Snyder to block it and keep it away. Could have spelled disaster for Louisville as Clemson very close to finding the equalizer.
Taylor Libb there getting her moment in the box. Does so well to set herself up with the touch, but Snyder steps in beautifully just to deflect that one away. Snyder's so patient when defending there.
Yeah, not jumping the gun, not reaching with her foot, but reading the ball rather, keeping her arms behind her back, so disciplined and able to step in front of that one and erase it off of the foot of Taylor Leib. Aaron Floyd gets under that one a little too much. It doesn't quite clear the zone. Pete for Louisville. Clemson applying all kinds of pressure. Louisville unable to respond, and it's sent out of bounds again. They do get it out, but Clemson now has possession, and they're applying hard pressure in the Louisville third.
Clemson's done a much better job of being able to lock the ball in their attacking half of the field. So being able to compress the field, force Louisville into mistakes, and then being able to maintain better possession. I feel like Clemson in this second half has been the team with the most possession.
Certainly feels that way as Clemson has been able to put together a few opportunities and erasing any opportunities Louisville can get. And a little too much on that pass from Broth-White.
Bit of a missed pass there, but a golden opportunity for the Cards to see if they can regain control of this match and see if they can start to be the aggressors.
Taylor Morris and Corinna Pete come on for the Cardinals, and off come Mackenzie Geigley and Liza Sudam. Seems a little similar to maybe the substitution patterns of Clemson bringing players off with 20 minutes to go. You'd think a 10-minute rest period is in order. And as you said, Casey, the 15-minute mark is where we might see the intensity ramp up a little bit. You would expect some more substitutions in the near future.
Clemson also has to be smart because we saw at halftime they've got a big matchup on Sunday. That's a quick turnaround for them to have to play a tough match here against the Cards and then to turn around and have another really big matchup. That's exhausting. So they have to make sure they're smart with their players.
Reason has it now. Scanning. Looking for a couple of options. Looks like she has one. Gets it up along the side, but a tough bounce, unplayable, and now Louisville takes back over. And in case you missed it, The goal from Amelia Swinarski as she was falling to her feet, to her knees rather. Excellent balance, excellent goal. In the 20th minute of this match, it is still the only goal we've got as we are now inside the final 20 minutes of this one.
It was such a good goal from Swinarski, but not only was it a great goal, but the build-up play to get to that goal from the Cards was probably their best of the game.
It was excellent ball movement, excellent teamwork and communication. Set up a tough shot for Swinarski, but so talented and able to finish it. And Louisville not done yet. You know they're going to do everything they can to set up another. Clemson's going to do the same thing. It's going to be a very exciting 20 minutes. Swinarski looking for Jadoin, takes a little contact. From Bailey Brewster, made contact with Jadoin. Swinarski for the throw-in. Excuse me, Sexton for the throw-in, had Swinarski right in front of her. Brenna Pete unable to handle. And here comes Carla Small back into the match now. Off comes Jolie Jenkins, who has had a phenomenal evening defending the Cardinals.
Yeah, she's been very good down that left side, and she's had a tough go of it with the amount of pressure that the Cards have been bringing, the speed that they have on the wings.
Here comes the Clemson defense. Snyder loses the handle, and now Clemson could make something happen. Working with it is Washington. Gets it back for Bissinger. Louisville going to have to put up some good defensive stands. Here's a ball sent into the box. Aaron Floyd is there to catch it. Quickly rolls it out to Swinarski, and Louisville wants to move quick here.
It's a great ball into the box, just it's hugging a little bit too close to Floyd. You want to pull it out ever so slightly, so then you force Floyd to have to make the decision. Do I come out and win it, or do I hold on my line? And that indecisiveness from the goalkeeper can help lead to a stronger opportunity to allow your attacking player maybe time to get on the end of it. And here's a look at that service. Again, just hugging a little bit close to Floyd. You've got two runners in the box. You got to make sure that when you're sending a solid service like that into the box, that you're connecting, because you're not going to get a lot of opportunities. They've already seen so far in this match. The Cards are difficult to score on. So they have to make sure when they do get their chances that Clemson is being intentional with their crosses in the box.
It was an excellent ball sent in. As you mentioned, nobody home for Clemson. But it was also Aaron Floyd coming out, making the right decision to catch it. Clemson's going to do everything they can to recreate that one. Hopefully on their side. You know they want to convert. Clemson working through the midfield now. Up along the side, Emma Kate Schroll in the match for Louisville. Brooklyn Lee, one-on-one defense. Louisville playing good defense. Ball sent into the box. Looked like it may have got out of bounds.
This is good stuff from Clemson. Brooks just takes a little bit too big of a touch there, and it gets a little far ahead of her, and so she's not able to get around it to get the service in the box. I often feel like Clemson is taking maybe a touch too much in the box. There's a few times where the ball popped out, and I would have liked to seen a one-touch service back into the box to maybe catch the Cards off guard, because what happens when you take that extra touch, it allows the defense time to adjust and to step in and close the space. If you're able to play quicker or in one touch, it causes for a little bit more disjointed in the back.
Brewster had it, lost it. Davey comes back on now for Louisville. Off comes Swinarski. Brathwaite also comes off for Clemson. Louisville still up 1-0, courtesy of Amelia Swinarski. Renee Lyles back in the match now. She comes in for Brathwaite. So here we are, Casey. The final 15 minutes. What's in store for us as we approach the end of this one?
I think if you're Clemson, you've got to figure out a way to really push it offensively. The clock is ticking away, and it's not your friend right now. So you haven't been able to get, I would say, a true goal-scoring chance where you feel like, yes, they should have had that one. So you've got to see if you can get more looks on target. If you're the Cards, you've got to stay disciplined defensively.
Clemson looking to develop an opportunity. Brooks going to work. Ball sent through. Does roll away. So Louisville able to maintain this 1-0 lead. But Clemson, their last two matches versus California, trailed 2-0, tied at 2-2. And then against 3 Stanford also trailed 2-0, and it ended up in a 2-2 draw. So this just speaks and gives more credibility to this Clemson squad. They fight so hard. They're never out of any match. And it gives a little credibility to what we said about the 2-0 lead and how never safe.
Well, and as a coach, yes, you're not getting the wins that maybe you want, but to see that your team goes down and they don't give up, they don't stop, what more could you ask for from a coaching perspective? Maybe to get the results, obviously,
right,
but to see that fight in your team and that willingness to continue to play no matter what the circumstance is, that speaks so much more than sometimes the results on the field. And that's what's going to help them grow into a really good team like they are right now into a great team.
When you keep that mentality, never giving up on any match, some of those ties are going to turn into wins, as you mentioned. The results are what you're looking for. And here comes Juju Harris back into the match now for Alessandra Washington. Just under 13 minutes to play. Coach Eddie Radwanski called on her for a reason in this final stretch of this one. Keep your eye on Juju Harris. And back into the match now is Emerson Jennings. So the impact makers back on the pitch now. And we're going to see some really intense soccer here for the last 12:30, as if we haven't all night long.
Exactly. Well, and Juju Harris has been sitting on the sidelines watching, studying, learning where the gaps are, what she needs to do to be able to find that breakthrough moment. And you know that she's been getting advice from the coach, from the players around her to figure out, here's where the gaps are, here's where the space is. This is what we need to do to break them down.
12 minutes to go here at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. Ixonity, Casey Whitfield, excited to have you here with us as this one winds down. Louisville looking for their second ACC victory. Clemson looking for their first. Also looking to hand Louisville their first home loss of the season. And here comes Amelia Swinarski. Got a quick break and now back onto the pitch. Ready to go. Karina Pete comes out. Ball volleyed around the midfield. Both teams looking for possession. Clemson comes up with it. A.G. Gibson getting in the mix, trying to take it away. Renee Lyles stays with it. Lyles again. Almost a mishandle there from Clemson. You can feel the intensity a little bit, Casey. You
it's
can
just like,
it's a little quiet. You can just feel it in the air. The fans are a little bit quiet.
everyone's on the edge of their seats.
Yeah,
like, what's going to happen? Because this game has really led us to be like anything could happen. Both of these teams have just been so fun to watch.
Kylie Pete, impressive stand there to stay with the ball and keep possession. Swinarski leaves it there for A.G. Gibson. Very smart play to get it back to Cherry. Cherry, so stoic. Kylie Pete now with it. That one rolls out of bounds. It'll go back to Clemson. 10.5 minutes to play here at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn. Back for Reason. A potential giveaway in the box there. Fina Davy got a foot on it, unable to handle. Brewster now. Ball sent up. Finds Lyles. Here comes Clemson. Through ball into the box, and Aaron Floyd comes out and dives on it and is able to win the race to the ball. Excellent play there from Floyd as Clemson is starting to find their opportunities and make the most of them.
That's a great buildup from Clemson. I love how Renee Lyles pops into this pocket of space to pick up the ball and is able to turn on the dribble and slip this through ball through. It just wasn't quite the right angle to be able to connect there, but the idea is there. The execution just needs a little bit of a cleanup.
Almost trying to create a magnetic pull of the defenders, if you will, trying to create a through ball for her teammate. But Aaron Floyd making the sound play, and a giveaway now in the midfield for Clemson. Fina Davy tries to handle but unable to do so. Clemson gets it back. Reason rockets it away. Brooklyn Lee heads it. Clemson comes up with it. Ball sent through. A foot race to the ball. Cherry gets there, lets it roll out of bounds.
Clemson trying to send as many numbers forward as they can. I do wish that she would have held on to the ball a little bit more. Kastenfeld there trying to slip it through, but she had the defense dropping. If she can continue to run with pace at the ball, she's going to eventually force the defenders to have to decide to step or to continue back off, and then that could allow her teammates the opportunity to make a little bit more dynamic runs, which then could open them up even more to find that perfect through ball to get their breakthrough moment.
Some subs for Louisville. You saw Huckabee, Sudam, and Maddox back in the match now for the Cards. Maddox came in for Brooklyn Lee. Sudam came in for Kylie Pete, and Huckabee in the match for Fina Davy. Mackenzie Geigley, a leader for this team. On the pitch, off the pitch, tied for the lead on this team with goals. Well, Swinarski now leads the team with her 7th coming tonight. But Geigley leads this team, sets the tone, is so tough. We saw her take a nasty spill last match against Virginia Tech. She popped right up, she finished out the match, and she recognizes the moment here tonight as she handles the ball, gets it up for Huckabee. Race to the ball, Huckabee loses the handle, and now it's Clemson again. Lyles trying to put it together. Sudam sending pressure. Clemson gets it back for Reason. Up now for Brewster. Clemson can't handle it. Off the foot of Bissinger, and now Louisville takes back over. Lizzie Sexton for the throw, and 7.5 minutes to play here in Louisville. Emerson Jennings looking for the ball. She takes some contact. Whistle's blown. Bailey Brewster. And a card.
100%. And that's just stopping a promising attack right there is the reason for that foul. She recognizes that Jennings is making this spectacular run going forward, and if she doesn't pull her back, Jennings is gone. So she just pulls her back, stops the attack there. So get another look at it here again. Jennings showing off her speed, just pulls her down ever so slightly to not allow her to get to the ball. Smart play, professional foul, absolutely a yellow card, no questions asked.
And albeit it does result in the yellow card, the smart play, as you mentioned, Casey, kills any attack. The speedster in Jennings was making a play. But now Louisville has a good opportunity. You see the yellow card there on Brewster. Now Louisville with a set piece opportunity with just over 7 minutes to go. They can smell the second goal and another victory at home. Ball sent in. Clemson there. Maddox had a chance. Now Swinarski handles it. And a good play there to get it back to Snyder as time is dwindling down for the Tigers. Geigley there. trying to handle. Ball sent up. Stays in. Cherry, excellent play to get it back to Aaron Floyd. Lyles just passed out of reach. Was looking for her teammate in Natalie Brooks. But now Maddox has another throw and 6.5 minutes remain.
It's those unforced errors, especially in these moments in the match, that allow the Cards to kind of kill your momentum, to take time off the clock. You've got to limit the unforced errors like that. Especially
in what you explained earlier as the most important, maybe the most dangerous stretch of the game, the last 5 minutes of each half. Well, we're approaching the last 5 of this match, so there is really no margin for error if you're Clemson right now trying to equalize. And if you're Louisville, there's really also no margin of error. You need to be sound here through this next 6 minutes. Find your victory. Good move there by Bissinger to shake Swinarski. Kastenfeld sent it up. Huckabee has it now. Sudam working through the midfield, looks for Swinarski. Passes gathered there by Swinarski, almost taken away by Clemson. Smart play there by Sexton to back it up. Get it back for Snyder, who gets it up to Cherry. A booming pass sent up. No reason there to gather for Clemson.
Clemson has been trying to get subs in for almost 5 minutes so far, but they haven't had a stoppage of play to be able to make the changes, to get the fresh legs that they need to help push them to get that equalizer here in the match.
They want to get Reese Klein back on the field along with Jolie Jenkins, 2 key defenders for Clemson that are going to make a pivotal change. And here they come, the subs for Clemson. And here we go, last 5 minutes, Louisville up 1-0. Clemson is going to throw everything they have at Louisville here. Carla Small comes off for Jenkins. Tatum Short comes in for Anna Kastenfeld. And Klein is back in now for Bissinger. 4.5 minutes, ball sent down. Play is whistled at dead.
And that's just where you got to make sure that when the ball is cleared out that you're hustling to get back on sides, because every play matters at this point if you're Clemson. Every single attack, every single turnover matters, because you're running out of time, plain and simple. You have to make sure that you're keeping the ball, you're valuing possession, you're creating strong attacks.
You saw the offsides numbers there. Louisville's committed 3 to Clemson's 2. You're right, Casey. Time is dwindling down here for the Tigers. They can sense it. Playing deep balls now. Trying to create anything they can. Aaron Floyd wisely running to the side, letting some seconds tick away. That is a veteran play right there from Aaron Floyd.
Oh, yeah, just staying composed, dribbling out of the way, even though you have a player running at you, understanding when the right time is to pick it up, not fumbling the ball when you go to pick it up either. Very, very smart play from Floyd.
A little scary at times, maybe from our angle or our viewer if you're a fan, but you know Aaron Floyd has it all under control. She's thinking, look, I got this. I'm just
and that's the thing. You trust your goalkeeper so much, and you have to build that relationship with them, because I've played with some keepers where they would go to do that, and I'd be like, oh goodness, this is not going to end well. But Aaron Floyd is a very, very smart veteran player here for the Cards, and so you know that the team puts all of their trust in her.
Clemson moving the ball in their own zone. Louisville applying good pressure. That one rolls out of bounds. Both sidelines getting very vocal. The Clemson coaching staff communicating to their team, as is the Louisville sideline. They recognize it is crunch time. Clemson in the midfield. Sexton is there to keep it away. Swinarski comes up with it, and an excellent clear for Swinarski. Under 2 minutes to go. Clemson has to hurry up. Nona Reason stays short. Jennings applying good pressure. This is the time to do so. Been doing it all night, but doing it now. Trying to make it hard for Clemson.
Radwanski trying to urge his team on and telling them, send it forward, because there's about 90 seconds left in this game.
Reason does so there, sending it deep into the Louisville end. The ball rolls out of bounds. Time continues to tick away. Louisville on the cusp of their second ACC victory and another clean sheet, and maintaining that perfect record at home this season. This would improve them to 8-0 at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. 60 seconds on the clock. Geigley sends it down. Clemson moving very fast here, working against time. Carson Cherry keeps it away again. Louisville not too worried about the inbounds play right now, keeping everything away from Aaron Floyd. Desperation time for the Tigers. Louisville just sending it back down the pitch once again. They can sense it. 30 seconds to go. Throw in to Reason. Clemson's going to have to go deep here. They send it into the midfield. Unable to receive it. Snyder kicks it up. Almost came into the booth, Casey.
We almost had to pull out our keeper skills.
We did, yeah. Commotion on the pitch. Time is dwindling down. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1. That does it. This game is over. Louisville wins it. Another home victory, another clean sheet, and it's another ACC victory. The final score, 1-0.
What an exciting game we had on our hands, just on the edge of the seat for the entire matchup.